By the end of this video, you're going to have a very clear path on how to make your first £10,000 online. If you don't know who I am, in the last few years I've sold on Amazon, e-commerce, I've got my own agency, I've done media stuff, and I've been lucky enough to earn some good money from that and save up a nice chunk of money, as well as having some businesses that are worth money in terms of the stock value they've got and things like that. So in this video I'm going to break it down for you, all the different avenues you could possibly go down in order to make your first 10k. Now the reason it's important to make your first 10k, we're not talking about £10,000 per month, we're talking about making your first 10k, is because once you've got that, you've got a little bit of resources. You can then reinvest that 10k into whatever you want, and more importantly, you've got the inner confidence to know that you can do it, to know that you can make money from your own business, to make money online. That's what we're going to talk about. Right now, every single business model, online income stream I'm going to talk about in this video is one that I've either done myself and made some really good money from, and when I say good money, I mean tens of thousands of pounds, dollars, whatever you want to call it, or it's a business that I know works because my friends or close acquaintances in the business are actually doing it themselves. And then stay with me till the end of the video, and I'm going to explain to you exactly what I would personally do if I was trying to make my first 10k. But to start with, I'm going to give you all the options. If you can't focus on this video right to the end, then perhaps you should just go back to your job, wherever you're working, and forget about making money online, forget about making a better life for yourself, earning a lot more money online with your own businesses, because maybe you're just not cut out for it. So without further ado, my name is Hayden Davidson, and you are watching the Make It Big podcast. So, number one, e-commerce. This is my bread and butter. This is where I've made the majority of my money. And by the way, I'm not a multi-millionaire yet or anything like that, but we're starting to make some really good progress now, and I've got a lot of confidence on this stuff. E-commerce is an amazing opportunity, but there's many different avenues that come with e-commerce, because I understand the word e-commerce can mean so many different things. To some people it means drop shipping, to some people it means Amazon FBA, to some people it means Shopify. The truth is, it doesn't mean any of that, right? It means all of that, right? They're all under this umbrella, and there's many different ways that you can do it. We're not going to talk about drop shipping here, although there is some people that make money from drop shipping. I used to do it myself. It's not something that I would ever say is worth putting your time into personally, in the way that I see it, because you're not building a proper stable business there. Drop shipping can be tricky. There's many moving parts there. What I'm going to talk to you about is the potential of selling eBay, selling stuff on eBay, selling stuff on Amazon, selling stuff internationally on Amazon, selling stuff on Shopify and stuff like that, because this is the start, selling stuff on TikTok Shop. This is the current world that we live in, and this is the opportunity that exists, and it's a true opportunity, right? So you can make some good money from this. Now, you might have some limiting beliefs, not understanding, is it possible? How much does it cost to advertise and stuff like that? So I'm going to break down to you in this video roughly the different ways that you can sell on them platforms, so that you have a better understanding, just to break this down easily. So one of the first ways that you can do it, one of the first ways you can start selling on these platforms is by going big guns and like creating your own private label brand. Now, hold on there, because I wouldn't actually recommend this to start with, but I'm just going to tell you what it is to start with. This can be quite an overwhelming thing, right? I know people that have exited brands for millions and stuff like that, but it feels very far away. And that's because it may be at the start, when you're just trying to get started. It takes resources, it takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of time, right? I've never built a private label brand that's like a proper private label brand. We're about to embark on that right now, and we're at the stage where we are with momentum and everything like that. It is something you can absolutely do from the start, but you would have to be encouraged to have a lot of patience, some resources, some money, much more than other ways that I'm going to tell you about in a minute. But obviously the long-term potential is very solid, because when you've got your own private label brand, it's once it gets recognized, once you build a personal brand for that, once you build a brand on TikTok or Shopify with that brand, once you get known, then you're going to have them forever, potentially repeat customers. So I would say with e-commerce, that should be sort of your end goal, potentially, to have your own proper brand, we call it. But there's many other ways, and this is where people get confused. You don't have to do drop shipping. You don't have to do your own private label brand. There's many ways that you can sell on eBay, Amazon, your own website and everything like that. Just becoming some sort of reseller or not just a reseller, some sort of hybrid version of a reseller. Now, let me tell you how that works. This is kind of what I've done to make a lot of my money. So what I do for me is that we work with other brands. We make gift bundles, gift hampers, gift packets, whatever you want to call them. I'm not telling you you have to do it in this certain way, but we make them in this certain way. And what we do is bundle together products from other brands, and we put them under our own listings on places like Amazon, and then we sell them under our own branded umbrella in sort of gift box type things. Now that's what we do, and we've made some really good money doing that. And you know, just this Christmas we should make tens and tens of thousands of pounds bottom line profit doing that stuff. So that can work really well. That's one way that you can do it. You can have your own brand and bundle together your own stuff. Now there's a lot of new policies that have just come out on Amazon and this stuff, but there's always a way to bundle in the correct way. Now you don't have to use other brands either. You could actually do your own brands that you're buying just to test from Temu, places like AliExpress, and then in the future start importing your own stuff from places like Alibaba. But once again, that can sound a little bit overwhelming. In the early days, it's about testing. You can do your own gift sets, you can do your own bundles of even things like, baby bundles with baby sponges, baby shampoos, stuff like that. And you can also do non-branded stuff to stay away from the potential hiccups that you can get selling other people's brands that have just been introduced on Amazon. But this stuff doesn't just have to be sold on Amazon. You can sell it on your own TikTok shop. I don't do that personally. I know many people that have a lot of success from that. You can sell it on eBay. I don't do that personally. I know many people that do that. You can sell it on your own website and start driving traffic to your website. Once again, I don't do that. I know many people that do that and have success doing that. So it's about being unique. It's about putting products together. If you're going to do that way, put it on your own brand's umbrella and selling them. Now, that isn't the only way. That's kind of a hybrid reselling way. You can just do reselling where you're jumping on other people's listings, you're buying from wholesalers, buying from manufacturers, and then you're jumping on other people's listings on Amazon, eBay, creating your own listings, TikTok, also creating your own listings and reselling products on there, on the TikTok shop platform, understanding suppliers, understanding the game, and then constantly reinvesting to then build up this sort of business that you could eventually start to really master. Now, that's the space that I've been in. That's the space that I've made some really good money in. It's a real opportunity, but it's not for the faint-hearted. It just takes time to build that momentum. So I'm not going to be trying to sell you into anything here to tell you that's the best opportunity. It's not the best opportunity, in my opinion, to make money online or to make money in a side hustle or anything like that. It's full-time commitment. It takes a lot of work and commitment, but there is a big opportunity there. So that's kind of the one thing, the e-commerce. Now, once again, you can carry on in the future with your own brands. You could be a main distributor for other brands. You could have your own private label business. There's so many things within e-commerce. And that's what's exciting about it. There's so many shoots and avenues that you can go down. But to start with, it is about layering that experience in the early days and just understanding the e-commerce world. So that's e-commerce. Now, the next way I want to talk to you about is building a personal brand. Now, this could be on TikTok. This could be on YouTube. This could be on Instagram. This could be on many different types of platforms. Now, you're watching me here on YouTube. This is a personal brand that I started many years ago to document my Amazon journey. Now, you may be thinking, oh, he's been doing it years. He's only got about 4,000 subscribers. I've got about 15,000 on TikTok followers. I've got about 4,000 on here. Don't really do Instagram, not really interested in that. The reason I haven't got that many followers, although I do get a fair amount of engagement, is because I haven't focused on getting followers. I've focused on nurturing my tiny little audience. If I wanted to get more followers than I would, I'm now doing more of a sort of podcasty type thing, hence what you're watching here. So, that may grow in the near future when I start to bring in guests, but we haven't been focused on that. And that's what I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about the power of the personal brand, or the power of the brand that you build for a business or whatever it is on social media. So it may seem daunting to start with, but I promise you, putting the work in, and this is probably one of the best opportunities on the internet today, I would say, putting the work in to building your personal brand, whether that be on TikTok, which is probably the easiest place to build one, to be honest, and then siphoning them people into your YouTube, into your Instagram, is probably the biggest opportunity in this day and age for people that haven't got that much money to start and want a really good future. Because it will take you, it doesn't take that much time, right? It doesn't take that much time, but it gives you the power to keep compounding them videos that sit there on the internet for years, and you should just gain followers after followers. Now, once again, not for the faint-hearted to start with. Nothing worth having comes easy. Nothing's easy that's worth having, basically. You're going to have to put in 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 videos before you start seeing traction. But once you do, right, you can then start to plan how you're going to make money from monetizing that audience. Now, you can make money in many different ways from having a personal brand. Look at people like The Rock. Look at people like, what's her name? One of the Kardashians, Khloe Kardashians. Billionaires or multiple hundred millionaires. And the reason for that is because they've got their personal brand and they're selling their products to them. You can sell your own products from your personal brand to people in many different forms, right? I just talked to you about e-commerce. If you started your e-commerce brand, whether that be an umbrella brand that sells other brands or whether that be your private label proper brand, in the future, you could use that audience to sell more of that product to them. Right, that's one way you could do it. You could start your e-commerce business, build your personal brand, and then in the future, you would aim to sell your audience or get known as the owner of that brand, that private label brand, from your personal brand. That's one way you can do it. Now, the next way you can do it is selling things like affiliates. So I've made tens and tens of thousands over the years from doing affiliates. Don't really do them anymore, but I used to do affiliates. And that means, for example, if I'm using a software for my Amazon business, I would then explain to people how they can use this software, do tutorials and stuff like that, and then a proportion of people watching that will click on my little affiliate link below, and then every single month I'll get a retainer. Could just be £2, £3, £4, £5 per month, maybe even more than that, £10, £20 a month, some of them, and then you will get paid a recurring income from that. And that's just little affiliates. It costs you absolutely no money or anything like that, and a lot of the time there's a discount to the buyer for clicking on your affiliate link. So you can make a lot of money from affiliate links. Once again, bit of a slow burner, but it can be compounded up, and to some people a nice income. Another thing you can do is software, services and stuff like that. Now, you're probably not going to have the money to invest in the software to start with, but you could definitely do your own services. Now, that could be an agency. So I've got an agency myself. It's an Amazon PPC agency. We manage people's, because I've got experience now selling on the Amazon platform for over 6 years. I've got a lot of experience in advertising on the platform as well. So I've built up a team with giving them my experience. They've already got a lot of experience. I've got a business partner who's in the space as well. And what we do is we sell our service, our PPC service, to our audiences. So I've got an audience on my YouTube channel, my TikTok channel, in a Facebook group, and my business partner has the same. We quite frankly offer an amazing service in a market that had a big gap in it that wasn't being serviced, and now we're servicing that gap. So you can do that. You can do that yourself as well. You can find gaps in the market that you want to service and create a service around. Now, another thing, which is probably the real low-hanging fruit, if you've got knowledge in a particular topic, and that topic could be how to make honey, it could be how to homeschool, it could be how to make money online, it could be how to sell on TikTok, whatever it is. You could sell courses, not something that I do. I know people that make a lot of money from this, and I mean hundreds of thousands of pounds. You could sell courses, you could sell group mastermind things, like, or you could do like group coaching or something like that, single one-to-one coaching for topics that you know about, that you talk about. Put a little link at the bottom and get people to sign up to that stuff. Or you could create group coaching, group mentorship stuff where it's like £100 a month people pay you, or even £25 a month, and then the audience that are watching you, a small proportion of them will join your group coaching stuff. And once again, I know someone that makes, I don't know, probably 10, 15, 20,000 a month from that group coaching type business model. So there's many different ways that you can make money online. Right, and that's what I said I've just gone over. So that a lot of that stuff has taken me years to understand and actually have the confidence to do that stuff. Right, again, I don't do all that stuff. I do a proportion of that stuff, and all of them are big opportunities. It depends how you want to start making money from them. With your personal brand, you can also start making money from sponsors. People will pay you to do videos for them once you've just got not even that many, just a few thousand subscribers. I was getting sponsored on this channel. Not a huge amount of money, but it was something. And that helps you to be able to allocate the time to put regular content out. Now, I said at the start I was going to tell you what I would do if I was starting again and I was trying to make my first 10K. Now, a lot of this stuff, you've got to understand, it's not just about what you want to do, it's about what makes sense. And in the early days, you haven't really got, unless you've got mega patience, you can't really go after what you really want to do, what you're passionate about, because you haven't got the resources in order to do that, which means you may not stick to it long term. So if I was starting again, I would suggest that you start with what's going to give you some experience long term and also help you with momentum long term. So that for me would be doing a little bit of reselling. I mean, I even went around charity shops to start with and started flipping stuff. Get a little bit of experience of e-commerce, and then start to slowly reinvest in that e-commerce side of your business from just buying a few products here and there and reselling them on eBay, TikTok Shop, understanding TikTok Shop because it's such a growing market, understand the TikTok Shop way of doing things, and then also the Amazon way of doing things. I would start reselling. If you've just got like a few £100 to put into this, start reselling some items like that and start compounding your experience like that. You're not going to be earning good money from that to start with, and that may be hard to take, a tough pill to swallow from some of you, but it will compound. But as a main focus, what I'd be doing is working on my personal brand on the side. Understanding that that has real good long-term potential, and I would actually be documenting my journey of becoming like an e-commerce seller, like building a brand, whatever your long-term goal is, start documenting that instead of creating. Because what that's going to be able to do is you're going to be able to document your experience. People love to see this. People love to do it, especially TikTok Shop. I'd focus on TikTok Shop, I think. Start trying to resell items on TikTok Shop, buying from wholesalers or something like that, and then document it on TikTok. Whilst you're documenting it, people love seeing that. It's going to be building your personal brand, and then I would start peppering some affiliate links to them people. Start peppering some affiliate links to them. Say, if you're using a software that's helped you out from your e-commerce growth that you've got, just let them know. Create a little link tree, and which is where all your affiliate links go, and just let them know, look, if you want to use this software too, there's a 25% off link in my link tree, and you will start to get a few sales from that. And then eventually what I would hope is in a year's time, you've built a bit of momentum in the e-commerce, you've built a bit of momentum with your personal brand, and then at that point you can then decide what you're going to do next. Are you going to go all in on certain type of e-commerce that you want to do, or are you going to go all in on a certain service or coaching or some sort of offer that you've got that you can push on your personal brand to the audience that you've built? And then also you're going to have the skills and the momentum that are building from your e-commerce side of things. And that may not sound sexy, but that's the reality for most people, right? Within a year, you should have some good momentum. And then before you know it, you'll be like, oh, wow, I've actually started to save up a nice bit of money here. And then all of these opportunities come once you start to have that confidence. And then you can start executing on the opportunities. And you will get to your first 10K like that. Once you get to your first 10K, you've then got to decide, in my opinion, which one do you want to really focus on? Like, is it your personal brand or is it your e-commerce? And then go 80% in on that thing and really knuckle down, really put in a lot of the hours into this, get good at it. And then you start making probably your 20 grand and then your 30 grand. But what your goal here should be is actually, rather than just making the 10 grand, once you've made that, you want to be making that regular income. You know, you want to be making 2 grand a month, 3 grand a month, 4 grand a month. And then once you've got that, it's going to give you a really good solid foundation into entrepreneurship. And then you can start building from there. So that's what I would do. That's what I did do. So that's what I would still do, but just slightly tweak it with the platforms that I'm using in terms of definitely utilizing TikTok in the terms of TikTok Shop and building your brand, because neither of them were really around when I was starting my personal brand, but they can just catapult you in terms of views and success that you could get. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the podcast, let me know in the comments what you'd like me to do podcasts on in the near future, and I'll speak to you soon.